Though the kindergarten pupils of the PCDA Primary School were the focus of our story that touched the hearts of many, the 30 dwell desks donated to the school are not the right desk for the kindergarten class. They need a smaller one like this. The door is still open. Let's sit these 80 kindergarten pupils.
All right, so that was just one of the stories that won Wendy Laryea the awards at the GJA Awards. On Saturday night, she picked up 2 awards, and of course Seth Kwame Boateng of Multimedia being crowned the Journalist of the Year. Well, Wendy Laryea is here with us. Congratulations to you. 2 awards.
Thank you very much, Nova.
Let me pull it here. It looks like mine if anybody changed it.
But they're not.
Well, I mean, let me pretend it's mine. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I spoke to you on Saturday afternoon.
Yes,
you were not
you
even
did.
sure if you were going to pick the award. Yeah. You know, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about the stories first before we discuss all the congratulatory messages you're getting. Let's start with the story we just played. How have things changed since that reportage?
The whole school has furniture. Children go to school with joy because initially absenteeism was a big issue. They come to school with back pain, backache, pains. They're not really
they had to write on the floor.
Because they had to write on the floor. And these children in a TAMPC didn't have enough learning materials. Teachers also didn't have enough teaching materials. So anytime they did make a mistake with a chalk, they would have to spit, clean it with their saliva, and it was so disturbing for the teachers and even for the pupils.
So now they have furniture, they have writing materials, they have learning materials. That is impactful journalism. And I'm sure it excited you.
It did. For me, as a journalist, my mantra, and I believe that journalism is my tool for change. That's how I can change my society. That's how I can change my world. So I don't see journalism as a destructive tool. This is what I have. So why don't I use it to make my world a better place?
Absolutely.
So that's how I see it.
That's very good. And so that award was for education, is it? Yeah.
The education was for Tongobio, and then the radio and TV news was
digital.
For TAMPC.
So what we just saw was digital?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the second one, the education. What was the story about?
I went in there and realized children had to take turns in class. So this week when a number do sit on the floor, the next week they sit on the furniture.
Rotation.
There was rotation in there, and they were complaining that they weren't happy about it. Teachers were very worried about it. The headmaster complained bitterly about it because they weren't really motivated to come to school. And eventually when you have a beautiful school uniform, when you get to class, by the time session is over, your uniform is dirty. And they were concerned about it. And I realized that anywhere I get to, most of the schools I got to do stories about had those very similar situations running through. So I thought that, why don't I do these stories? Hope and pray for change. And indeed, I got the change I prayed for.
Okay, so they've also been sorted out.
They've also been sorted out.
That's great. And so these 2 stories, did you think they would take you this far when you found them? I mean, in the beginning, you wouldn't think that, okay, this will win me an award anyway, because you're not doing it for the award. You're doing it to make a change, to impact. But when you were filing, did you think the stories would go that far?
I did.
You did?
Honestly, I did.
Yeah.
But first of all, my focus was on change. To make an impact. Bring that change I dreamt of. Bring that change I wanted to see. So that was my focus.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the award itself. I mean, every year journalists are awarded in this country. It just reminds us of the tool. You mentioned a tool, and I want to borrow that word. The tool that we have. But you look across the media landscape, and sometimes the media has been quite irresponsible as well, in so many ways than one. For you, how does it make you feel as a journalist?
Usually when I see these stories or I hear of them, the first question I ask is that I wish everybody would think like I do. Because if we see it from that point of view that we have all it takes to make our world a better place, we have all it takes to make our society a great one, then I'm sure people will look at things from a different point of view. But we all have ambitions. People see things differently from the way you do. But in my very own way, this is how I think I can change my world. So
Okay.
I work at it.
And those are should I call them your children? And this is Tampisi.
Yes, this is at Tampisi.
At Tampisi.
Yes.
Which region is this?
In the Upper East region.
In the Upper East region.
Yeah.
You should go back and show them your award.
I will.
Do you have plans? A big party, a lot of biscuits and cake, celebrating Wendy Laryea, and that's clearly an indication they're being supplied with chalk. Because really, that's what they'll be using to write on the floor. That's a very pathetic picture, and we're very grateful to you. And of course, Star Ghana, that this has changed. Let's talk about Star Ghana.
We're running the project with TV3, that Mission Ghana, and our focus was on education and health. So
very critical areas.
Very critical areas, and most of the journalists in there, my colleagues, also worked on several stories. I can call Odelia, Nakor. I remember Portia also did stories. Daniel Latte did some stories. Catherine Frimpong also did other stories. And we were hopeful we're going to bring about change. And we did, because lots of people came in to donate, not just for my story, but other stories were also got the donation and attention they needed. I remember Nakor and then Portia's also. So it's been interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about Saturday. You look actually elegant.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
thank you.
I was telling someone that you're so religious.
I'm not religious, I'm not.
You're very religious.
I'm not. I'm a Christian. I'm a child of God. I'm not religious. I don't term that religion. I don't want to put it in that box.
So what are you?
Not at all. I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian.
You're a Christian.
Yes.
Okay. Semantics, but that's fine. Of course, prayers are also very critical to you as you go about this job. All right. Let's talk about your spirituality for you. Go on. Spill it.
Okay. So usually when we're going out, I have one of the cameramen who worked on my story, Sami is here, and he can attest to that. That usually when we're going out, when we sit in the car, I would pray, hoping that we get the best of the best.
Yeah.
Camera, sound, writing, reports, the best of the best. When we come back, I just get to the hotel room or wherever we're sleeping. I pray.
Yeah.
Just to get the change I envisage or I want. And then after the story is aired, I just pray to God. They're not in the best of states. They need help. So I'm praying that people will come up there and help them. And indeed, it worked.
It worked. Indeed, it really, really did work. All right, so Saturday night you received your 2 awards. I'm sure you're getting a deluge of messages from everybody. But
everywhere.
Most importantly will be your parents.
Yes.
How has the support been? From your mom especially. I know you're very close to your mom. Yeah. How has she taken this? She must be overjoyed.
I think that's an understatement.
Yeah, she's all over the place.
She was excited.
Over the moon.
She was happy.
Yeah. Was she with you?
She was with me. My dad was there. My brother was there. They came in to support me. And I felt really loved. I did. Not just from my parents, but from everyone. You, Beatrice, Abe, everybody who called me, everybody who was there. I just felt encouraged. You weren't there, yes, but at least you called me.
Yeah. Anyway, we have just 1 minute to wrap up. But what's your next ambition? What are you working on? What are you doing? I mean, this puts a lot of pressure on you. Positive pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tells you there's a lot more to be done, and you just can't rest. So I'm still going to focus on education and health because that's what I really want to do, and bring about more change. Help improve the lives of others, especially the disadvantaged. Help improve the lives of people who need the help.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Can I say one thing?
Yes,
I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who's contributed to my success story. Thank you to you two, Nanaba. My cameramen, Percy Banu and then Samia Ko. Sound, Asante and Awate. Editors, every editor who touched my story, I'm very grateful. But most importantly, to Justice. I won't say a very big thing because there were times we were editing and I said, no, I don't want this, put this here. I think we should do this and do that. And it worked out perfectly. So I want to say a very big thank you.
And to the production assistants in Studio A who played your story.
Who played my story.
Richard and Co.
Before they beat me out, I would say thank you to you. I'm very grateful.
No thanks to the boyfriend.
He knows. I said thank you to him already.
Okay,
and he's giving me
boyfriend.
his full support. So
Okay, boyfriend. Lucky you. All right, Wendy Laryea, congratulations once again.
thank you, Nanaba.
We are very proud of you. About you, Achomo.
Adunle Odu.
Adunle.
Yes.
You prefer Adunle.
And Nkati cake.
No, Nkati cake. You're not supposed to eat Nkati cake. You are not allowed to eat Nkati cake. All right.